Hello everyone, welcome back to the Racing Squad. I am your host Naren Harwani, and today we're going to discuss the highlights of the 2020 Austrian Grand Prix qualifying. We have never been so excited to just watch the F1 cars back on the track and hear the sounds they make in what has been the longest wait of an F1 season start. So let's have a look at the highlight of qualifying session 1. It was definitely George Russell. He was less than 0.1 second away to get into Q2 and he starts P17 in the race. He's ahead of both Alfa Romeo drivers and his teammate Nicholas Latifi. So he's definitely the highlight of qualifying session 1. Let's have a look at the highlight of qualifying session 2. Definitely we saw Racing Point driver Lance Stroll set some fastest laps, and which were then later beaten by Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen. Definitely Racing Point were getting a lot of eyes on them. They've shown a lot of pace in testing, in practice sessions, and again now in qualifying. Another highlight for qualifying session 2 is definitely Ferrari. They were nowhere to be seen. Charles Leclerc was on P7 and Sebastian Vettel somehow didn't make it to Q3. We did not recollect when Sebastian Vettel last did not qualify for Q3. What we think is that when the FIA had investigated for the engines has caused them a lot, and possibly we'll be seeing them struggling more in a couple of more races this year. Let's have a look at the highlight of qualifying session 3. Is definitely Valtteri Bottas. He set the fastest lap time. He gained provisional pole and then he also gained pole for the race. He'll be starting P1. We'll be having Lewis Hamilton starting P2, who couldn't better his time and beat Valtteri Bottas for the pole. And Max Verstappen will be starting P3. What's really interesting here is that Max Verstappen will be starting on medium tires because Red Bull chose to set their lap times on medium tires in Q2. And for everyone who doesn't know, drivers in the top 10 in Q3 start the race on what tires they've set the fastest laps on in Q2. So Max Verstappen will be starting on medium tires, whereas Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas will be starting on softer tires. So it'll be really interesting to see how the strategy pans out in the race. Another highlight of the qualifying session 3 was definitely Lando Norris. He starts P4 in what has been the best qualifying for him. So it'll be really interesting to see how the race pans out for him. If he shows good race pace and possibly good strategy as well. So we might just see him amongst the top drivers in the front of the grid. Ferraris are nowhere to be seen. So it's a really good chance for McLaren to show what they're capable of. We also have Alexander Albon in P5 and Sergio Perez of Racing Point in P6. Since Ferrari is starting the race at the back of the grid, it is a really great opportunity for McLaren and Racing Point to gain a lot of points in the race tomorrow. So we have a really interesting battle between the top 3, that's Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. It'll be really interesting to see how the strategy pans out between the top 3 drivers. And we've got a really interesting battle between McLaren and Racing Point after that. So we are really sure and excited to watch the Austrian Grand Prix. And that's it from us, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm your host Naren Harwani with the Racing Squad. Have a nice day. We also have Alexander Albon who will be starting P5 and Sergio Perez will be starting P6. So Force India and McLaren has got a really good fight in the race tomorrow. It'll be really interesting to see how it pans out between McLaren and Force India. Another highlight of qualifying session 2 is definitely Ferrari. They were nowhere to be seen. Charles Leclerc was on P2